You know how much the Luigi Mangione story matters to us. Why is it so significant? Why must we continue to talk about this? Well, for one thing, Mangione's story continues this week. He will be in court, I believe, on Friday. So the case will progress. He issued a statement, which we made a post on recently. I'll read it to you guys real quick. From Luigi Mangione, due to the extraordinary volume of increase and outpouring of support, this site was created and is maintained with Luigi. So here is a message from Luigi. If you could scroll down, please. I am overwhelmed by and grateful for everyone who has written me to share their stories and express their support. Powerfully, this support has transcended political, racial, and even class divisions. As mail has flooded MDC from across the country and around the globe, while it is impossible for me to reply to most letters, please know that I read every one that I receive. Thank you again to everyone who took the time to write. I look forward to hearing more in the future. Listen, this is why we're here. This is why we have his back. And so one of the things that apparently came across the wire just today is one of the biggest killers that we have in our broken health system is diabetes. It was the biggest COVID killer. And of course, we charge an arm and a leg, no pun intended, for you to get your insulin here in the United States. Well, it turns out that China apparently has come up with the cure for diabetes. And we, the only developed nation on earth with a for-profit health system, has been suppressing that information. So here we go.
There are reports out of China now that scientists have found a cure for diabetes, and the American pharmaceutical industry is not happy about it. There are now examples of Chinese patients receiving this experimental stem cell therapy and after about 11 weeks no longer requiring insulin, which I imagine is something that sounds amazing to people with diabetes, no longer having to poke yourself. But it doesn't sound amazing to giant American pharmaceutical companies like Eli Lilly, who currently dominate the insulin market and use it to make billions of dollars. And this has been very controversial as they've regularly increased the price of insulin, knowing that it's a necessary commodity that people with diabetes need to survive. And this is extra disgusting because the inventor of insulin, Frederick Banting, originally sold a patent for $1, saying that
Frederick Banting discovered insulin in 1921. He sold the patent for only $1. By 2016, drug makers had raised the price of insulin to $450 a month per average. Now, for seniors, I believe that's something that Trump did during his first term, and then Biden took credit for it. Reduced the price of insulin to $35 a month for seniors. Yeah. So how many Americans have diabetes? 38 million. Over 10% of the American population has diabetes. You don't think we have a health crisis? We have a food crisis, have a health crisis, education crisis, environmental crisis. Crises everywhere. They're not going away. And this is only more proof that what we're looking at is a beyond broken system. And whether you call it Medicare for all, I say single payer, we need the change, and we need it now.
insulin doesn't belong to me, it belongs to the world. And if people can be cured of diabetes so they no longer need insulin, obviously that would really cut into the demand for this product and cut into their profits. And here we see the contradictory nature of the for-profit American healthcare system. Innovation and advancements in medical technology are actually disincentivized if they have the potential to cure the patient and make it so they're no longer a repeat customer for the pharmaceutical industry. So much for capitalism promoting innovation and socialism destroying it. In reality, it's the opposite.
I believe it was Mark Twain that alluded to this idea that it is easier to fool a man than to convince them that they're being fooled. And that is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with a nation of fools who have been fooled and can't admit that they have been fooled and are acting a fool by not changing course. This idea that we are the only developed nation on earth that doesn't have a universal healthcare system, and there are people who still want to suggest that the solution is not to do what every other developed nation on earth is able to do, which is basically a single payer system. No system is perfect, but for God's sake, this system is beyond a dystopian nightmare. It deliberately kills people and keeps them sick for the purpose of profit. People sit around in a boardroom and make a decision. How many people do we have to kill in order to make our quarterly profit? Yeah, that's acceptable. We can deal with that. And you move on. It's cold-blooded, but they do it. Luigi is but merely a symbol, like the Dark Knight is merely a symbol that represents us and what we're trying to do to combat this broken, despicable system that should not exist.